அதனால் linking this pure theoretical as a religious performance. In Buddhism, yoga system alone having a separate existence of soul. So therefore, the knowledge of yoga was spread almost all the disciplines of Indian medicine. Not only with the principles in favor of rituals as well as spiritual and religious, there has been a content of yoga. In Hindu great tradition, there are 6 systems of religiosities available. All of you know, like Sainism and Vaishnavism. All the systems were followed in the knowledge of yoga. System like Buddhist and Jain, they are also reaping the fruits of yoga as their content. So therefore, yoga is a universal phenomenon of Indian tradition. Irrespective of orthodox and orthodox, yoga is a getting place both these two sides of polarized disciplines. Therefore, it is a very unique. This system is, we cannot compare them. As I previously mentioned, there is no synonymous like this knowledge in the universe. So the system was developed not only the spiritual attainment for the purpose of healthier life. Learned audience, Indian tradition having very strong knowledge of origin of the world, origin of life, the practice of life, living of nature, and also speaks about the destination. So for reaching the destination, yoga is only a subject which is serving, as I mentioned, for this work as well as for that religion. Whether there are other religious systems provide very important tools as spiritual content, just neglecting this role as well as neglecting God. Yoga system alone taken, body, the sarira, is also important for spiritual attainment. It has a long history about states, development of mind as well as development of physique, that is body. In a greater nature, the soul or the jiva is 25. So therefore, by the great scholar Patanjali, the saint Patanjali was systematized or made grammar for the subject of yoga. It was happened in the 2nd and 3rd BC. And before that, there are lots of bitty bits of the system of yoga was available here and there. Saint Patanjali alone compromised, compiled, and systematized the knowledge of yoga. And previously, though Mahavira was practiced several yogic content in the nature of meditation, like Buddha was practiced several content of dhyana, meditative practice, even we had through dreams in the Indus Valley civilization, the monks. And there is a one statue which is being in a meditative position. So therefore, the yoga knowledge is not something we are modern or ancient, it is time to know. So there, Indian has been developed knowledge regarding the body mindset. The scholar Patanjali was invented so many issues. Today we have medical science, the modern medical science, allopathic system. They are studying like a subject, anatomy, physiology, so on and so forth. Like in yoga also also there is a discipline like anatomy, physiology, and pathology like that. So the yoga system was developed in a various field include medical science. Learned audience, we need to note that we have Indian style of medicine. There is a Ayush. In the Ayush, there are 5 systems are compressed. Among the 5 systems, 3 systems from the Indian native, 2 systems from foreigners. Among the Indian native systems, Siddha as well as the Ayurveda, these are all Indian pure medical systems. It is noted that for this Siddha as well as Ayurveda, the fundamental knowledge is yoga. The fundamental knowledge is yoga. For example, we should not forget to make complete sense of disciplines. We need to add Sanskrit, that is system, as well as yoga system, both system, as well as yoga system, both system, system organs like that. Shankar provides some fundamental, the element, some fundamental, most of gold, the element, are area of evolution, most of gold, are area of evolution, how far the world existed, how far there. And therefore, on the basis of Shankar system, yoga was in a very special aspects of. So I would deliberately say that Western medicine also developed a science of psychology. A science of psychology of West, it is not a fundamentally looked at a subject. Their psychology is based upon a behavioral nature. Yes, they study behavior and speaks about psychology. In later times alone, they added the knowledge of medical and neuroscience. So the behavioral aspects as well as neuroscience, these two compressed speaks about Western psychology. It is quite major that Indian psychology is very, very different. Indian psychology has been developed by the Patanjali Yoga Sutra that speaks about a mind. Learned audience, it is a very important thing that in Indian psychology, the mind is more important, that is called Chitta. Chitta is a fundamentally material constraint. It is a material constraint which is one among the stages in the development of world. And this subject is formulated the mind. It is noted that the body and mind is not a two different phenomena. It is not two different phenomena. Body and mind is also compressed as a fundamental use of nature. We have to take one thing, since I am from a discipline of philosophy as well as yoga, all of us thinking that body, mind. What do you think about mind? We think that mind is eating body. Sometimes people may say that mind is available in brain. Or sometimes say mind is available in thought. These are all totally non-acceptable in the area of yoga. In the evolutionary theory of Chennai, the evolutionary theory has been mentioned in the yoga. The mind is body. The mind is body means the body is also from the mind. My body is not issues in the mind is issues in the body. So it is a very important upon that body is perfect. Therefore, mind is important. Therefore, whatever the problem arises, psychic as well as physics, the fundamental nature is only Siddha mind. It is applied that all the medicines of Indian medicines, they are medicines, they are providing medicines only to the mind, only to the mind instead of when we are approaching the doctors of Indian medicine, they are tested as there are 8 types of testing methodologies in Siddha as well as Ayurveda, and they are trying to knowing the habits of body and provide medicine. It is an outward motion. But actually what is happening means they are providing a medicine mind instead of body. So the level of the is being clear. Then the world is evolved from the fundamental principle. There are some fundamental principles. The fundamental principles are 3 in nature. It is called as guna, sattva, rajas, tamas. And totally it is called as these fundamental guna is responsible for development of emotional growth. According to the elements of matter is available. Whatever the elements, whether it is a any state, maybe in liquid state, solid state, gaseous state, whatever the state is nothing but composed of ingredients. What is the difference between a state of matter? It is nothing but the ratio composed of these 3 things. Only a ratio is decides and determines the nature of object. So therefore, through the knowledge of Sankhya as yoga, all the fundamental, all the work constructed just with the help of the 3 gunas. Only ratio is matter. It is that their knowledge of thing was happened in the before trust. Even today, according to modern science, they are also speaking the fundamental world was constructed by some elements, 140 elements. What is the elements? The elements is also compressed to find some 3 or 4 nature, electron, proton, neutron, so on and so forth. So therefore, they also speaks about some fundamental truths from the 3 entities. Likewise, the Sankhya and Yoga system also speaks about 3 fundamental. The material consciousness is responsible for the constitutional world. So the body is also a conception of these gunas. These 3 gunas was evidently provided in Bhagavad Gita. Almost all the Brahmas, Ividasas, all the classical literatures of India, whether they Shruti literature or Smriti literatures, everything was speaks about these fundamental 3 gunas. Okay, then if it is so, what about that? It speaks about 3 dosas. There are 3 dosas. Dosa is already 3 nadis, 3 dosas. The 3 dosas may be the, what is it, 3 identification of nadis. And this is a medical name according to yoga systems. So therefore, we need to know, according to the traditional knowledge of yoga, what is yoga? Yoga is nothing but, that is a Chitta Vritti Nirodha. The second sutra of Yoga Sutra mentioning what is yoga? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is Chitta Vritti Nirodha? Chitta Vritti Nirodha is arresting the modification of mind. It's a very simple translation. Arresting the modification of mind. What is mind? Mind is nothing but composed of 3 gunas. The 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. So what is the nature of the 3 gunas? As per the text of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, the nature of 3 gunas is, it formulated so many things. I just mentioned it as in a short form. The nature of 3 gunas is, it is suppressive nature. Suppressive means a dominant nature, which in every guna is try to dominate the other guna. There is also association is one of the character of the gunas. The association as well as being dominant, and also there is a nature of repulsive, and it is also one of the important characters of the guna is highly sensitive. Highly sensitive. So sensitive is one of the very, very important characteristic of chitta, that is mind. Therefore, the learner audience, please be understand, mind is always constant dynamic materials. It is also always constant dynamic nature, means each and every moment it gets actions. Each and every moment there is an action within the mind. No rest. Rest, any rest. Constantly it gets mechanized. Constantly it is getting action. So this action called as chitta vritti. That chitta vritti is, due to the chitta vritti, what is the life as per the yoga? Yoga, life of our existence is nothing but the functions of mind, the nature of functions of mind. For example, in daytime we are being in the state of awareness. In night we are going to sleep, as well as there are state as a dream, and also there are state as a fantasy, also there are state as memory. There are five kinds of chitta vritti. I am saying in another form. The modification of mind in 5 forms. The 5 form is the state of awareness, a state of sleep, a state of dream, a state of fantasy, and state of memory. What is life? These 5 stages. Life is nothing but these 5 states. Apart from there is nothing. Okay, so what is these all 5 states is nothing but modifications of mind. Some certain modifications of mind being as in the state of waking, certain modifications of mind being a state of dream, certain modifications as a dream, certain modifications as being a fantasy, there is a kalpana, certain being modification as memory. So the functionality of mind as per the typically from the Yoga Sutra, there is a memory. We are getting memory. It is because the functions of mind. Memory is recollecting. And we are fantasy. That means imagination. That is imagination is a kalpana. Those who are having a strong imagination power, they are the white or the great story writers. And again there is a state of mind is a dream and sapana. And as I mentioned in the first state is state of awareness. Therefore, my dear respected learners, life is nothing but reflections of mind. This is the note provided in the Yoga Sutra. What is life? It is nothing but modification of mind. How many modification? 5. What is the name? Chitta vritti. 5 chitta vrittis, as I mentioned. Therefore, if you are normal in the 5 chitta vritti, there is not any form of troubles. If the fantasy is being a moderate, if the dream is being a moderate, if the that is a dream, deep sleep is moderate, or if you are moderate in awakening, there is nothing to be problems. As per the conditions, there is a moderate life, both psychic as well as physical. Where is the problem start? If we are providing a space for over workload of mind, for over workload of mind means maybe reason, for food, for food, for emotions, for environment, for any reasons, if you are providing an extra things to mind, it gets more agitation. It gets functioning more drastic. If the mind functioning more drastic, that is the reasons of problems. That is the reasons of problem. Then the vibrations of mind has been increased strategically or in a more limited levels, then this is the problem. The problem, the stages of problem may be different. The Yoga Sutra describes like there are certain issues, chitta vigipsha. That is the first level of mental disorder. Even if you are failed to control the first level of disorder of mind, if you persist so, then another drastic disorder of both psychic as well as physical will be happen. That is called, this is chitta tada. So there will be four, there are I think 10 kinds of disorder will be happen. And it is very serious a mind disorder. Therefore we call it as a disorder of people, etc. etc. Finally, even there is a possibility death also happen. Therefore, so the system has been provide knowledge for making us an ideal life, perfect life. So yoga system never provide just rejecting the life on earth, just directly to the moksha or the heaven. It stage is given. A perfect, wonderful life is required on earth. With the perfection of this life on earth, then there is a possibility of getting the destination of heaven as an ultimate motive. So yoga system provides the knowledge for controlling systems. Therefore, yoga system providing knowledge for how we need to control the drastic functionality of mind. As I told you, what is yoga? Yoga is nothing but that is a controlling functions of mind, chitta, vritti, nirodha. So how far we need to, nirodha means not destroying, controlling. So how do we control the drastic functionality of mind? And it is called, there are certain levels are provided. Since here there are so many scholars are available, the first level of the advice, the therapy is psychic. It is called Pratitya Samutpat. That is a Pratibhakshita Bhavana. I guess we are again using the word Pratibhakshita Bhavana. Is the first level of treatment, first level of sadhana for curing the disorder of mind. What is that Pratibhakshita Bhavana? Pratibhakshita Bhavana is nothing but that is a regulating of our mental state. That means resisting the excessive level of thought. Pratibhakshita, that is a creating sense of opposite. If you want to say in a very correct sense, the creating sense of opposite. Pratibhakshita Bhavana means creating sense of opposite. That is, Tamil so we need to generate the sense of Vendam. Okay, so Vendam sense we need to create. Vendam means what? For all problems, it is just because of the sense of want, the sense of desire, the sense of passion, the sense of acquiring more. That is the reason for the drastic functions of mind. To regulate these, yoga system provide a very yogic technique sense, that is Pratibhakshita Bhavana. You see, this Pratibhakshita Bhavana is mentioned in Tirupura in the very first the Kadavul Varthu, Price of Lord. We need to live between the state of wants as well as no wants. So therefore, the Pratibhakshita Bhavana is a comparison of three psychic propensities. It speaks about three letters. The three letters are Viveka, Abhyasa, and that is called like discriminant. These three phenomena is creating sense of discriminate knowledge, creating sense of resisting, and creating sense of continuous practice. Abhyasa means continuous practice. Through the continuous practice of Viveka, Viveka is a rational sense. Viveka means discriminating knowledge. We need to develop a discriminating knowledge, what is good and what is bad. And also we need to cultivate the sense of the limitations of the sense one. So these three phenomena is underlying in the Pratibhakshita Bhavana. So therefore, the first yogic practice given by Yoga Sudra is Pratibhakshita Bhavana. Create a sense of Viveka, create a sense of Abhyasa, I create a sense of the cultivation of dispassionate. Observer, cultivation of dispassionate, cultivation of discriminate knowledge, and cultivation of continuous effort, continuous exercise. If the three things are practiced by an individual, it is enough for making as an ideal life. Again I am mentioning, if anybody cultivate these three phenomena which I mentioned, a cultivation of discriminate knowledge, a cultivation of dispassionate, a cultivation of strong endeavor or continuous effort. If anybody being in the state of this kind of practice, it is a ideology for ideal life. The ideal life is not just rejecting life from here, and there is no problematic life. The life with peace, shanti, a life with compassionate, karuna, a life with knowledge, which is prajna. Therefore, all good things will be happen once who is practicing, as I mentioned in these three principles, as a pratibhakshika. Okay, if you feel very difficult to this practice, we may say, by words it is maybe you say easy, but in a practice it is too difficult. I know personally, there are some persons went to Kasi and come back. As a tradition, that's a one traditional aspect. If anybody gone to Kasi, Varanasi, gone to relative, they must keep out. They must be left out one things of their habits. If I asking somebody, what do you left out? I left the brinjal. How left? Onion. So this is that means it is very difficult to give up our day-to-day activities, day-to-day habits. But Yoga Sutra says it is a significance of very light mind and weak mind. Only a weak mind and very weak mind alone having a sense of passion, having a sense of desire, having a sense of laziness, having a sense of not strong endeavor, having a sense of that is therefore it is a sign of weak mind. As per the knowledge provided in the Yoga Sutra, we need to bring back very strong mind. That is, a strong mind means having a knowledge of discriminate knowledge, having knowledge of dispassionate, having knowledge of continuous effort. So the continuous effort means a continuous daily activity. It against laziness. It doesn't mean taking rest. Rest is required. So one of the phenomena is rest is required. So it condemns the nature of the laziness. As per the modern science, who will be living more life? Who will be living more years of living? I just say in short that those who are working and having a body in a very active nature, they will live for long life. Again it speaks about for long life, those are having a very good, that is a good fat, those are having, they will live for long life. So one of the senses, those who are being very active, this is the significance for more life. Why the 21st of June was decided for the International Day of Yoga? All of you know, the 21st June is, the day is very long. The day is very long, the night is short. Means as a significance, as a mark, to live more years, therefore the International Day was chosen the 21st June. So if anybody feel a practice, then it was advised Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is popular. Sometimes we are knowing only Ashtanga is a content of yoga. No. The first great content of yoga is Pratibhakshika, as I mentioned. The second level of practice alone, this for the ordinary mass practice. As we today saying that Ashtanga Yoga, the Ashtanga Yoga is there are 8 inches of yoga, starting with Yama, Niyama, like that. So this Ashtanga Yoga speaks about ethical practice. This Ashtanga Yoga speaks about That is practice of physical, the practice of mental, and also this Ashtanga Yoga speaks about keeping mind in a proper position is one time. If you are making us all the available senses of our body in one point address, that is a great success. That is called the samadhi, attainment of samadhi. So it is a very systematic order of stages. So what aims since we have a limited time, we need to know that the Indian traditional knowledge, specifically yoga, provides a great scholar of knowledge. And it speaks about fundamental nature of human beings. Fundamentally, human beings are spiritual. Fundamentally, there is one fundamental difference from the other culture and the Indian culture. Other culture, fundamentally, human beings are sin, bad. But Indian tradition, especially yoga system, speaks about the fundamental nature of our existence is being good, being spiritual. Therefore, we need to dig out the fundamental nature of our existence. The fundamental nature of existence being bliss. The fundamental nature of existence is being is a karma, love, and the fundamental nature of being is something very spiritual enough. So, yoga system is a very deep, abstract, potential knowledge is available. So, I could say that the nature of our existence provides two great big boss in our existence. Two great big boss or two great doctors are provided with us. What is the doctors? The one doctor is, as in medical sense, because that is a resistance, power of resistance. It is called medically immune system. Immune system is one doctor which is provided by nature, and another people used to this system in a very. As a person, myself, I am declaring myself, I am invented this. Another one doctor is, that is we have fortune teller. In our body, we have a fortune teller, as in one big boss, as one a doctor. The fortune teller, if you are digging out or provide a space for functionality, these fortune teller as well as the power of resistance, we will have a greater existence. What is about the fortune teller? Fortune teller is a spiritual knowledge. It is like a third eye, it's not third eye. It is like an intuitive knowledge. It is an intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is a fundamental real existence of ourselves. The intuitive knowledge, if anybody open up the intuitive knowledge, they have the ability to see past, present and future. That kind of things are available within us. Therefore, I used to say fortune teller. We have a fortune teller within our existence. The fortune teller as well as the power of resistance immune system. For improving immune system, yes, doctor, the allopathic doctor or Siddha doctor or any doctor is available. Even if you want to ask me, I will provide so many content for strengthening our immune system. We are crossing the boundary of Corona, the great pandemic periods. Maximum knowledge are provided for strengthening the immune systems by way of medicine, by way of food, etc. etc. We have great scholars. But another thing I am speaking about, the fortune teller. The fortune teller is, you may call it as soul, you may call it as jiva, or you may call it as there is a fine nature of mind, any kind. These fortune teller, we must provide a space for the development of fortune teller. We have to listen the voice of fortune teller as well as we need to listen the voice of immune system. The fortune teller, how do we know? How do we strengthen? How do we provide environment for successful existence of fortune teller? The yoga system provides a very fantastically. That means those who are living on the platform of truth, those who are living on the platform of ethics, moral. The first two leaves in Ashtanga Yoga is Yama and Niyama. 5 principles within the Yama, that is don't do's, and 5 principles within the Niyama, do's. Those who are keep very scarred, very promptly about you. The first two leaves is 5 plus 5, 10 content. That is the ethical moral. If anybody being on leave, then they will have a key to open the door of fortune. If anybody successfully opened the door of fortune, and they have integrated knowledge, that knowledge is a provider. They can ability, they have skills to see the past, present, and future also. That much of knowledge is possessed in our existence. Our existence is not just something eating, something getting happy, something getting old and die. Instead of that, the tradition seers, saints, yogis, jnanis, they provided and open up the knowledge which is constructed within us. For example, I will provide a knowledge of body in the, that is a Upanishad speaks about Sarira, Panchakosha, 5 sets of body. They are taking just one level of body as per the modern medical science, allopathy. But as per the traditional knowledge, there are 5 layers of body. A body by good food, that is a Sarira. That is the second is Vijnana, and third one is Mano, and fourth one is Earth, and fifth one is Aparana Sarira. Therefore, there are 5 sets of body. All the body having the rooms, all the bodies being supposed to one to other, is successfully moving on, compromise getting associated. All the 5 bodies get associated and focused on one pointedness. That is the point to open up the door of the fortune. So therefore, Indian traditions advise, and it was stressed that live with truth. Live truthfully. Live with justice. Live with the nature. Live for the as per the mode provided by the soul. If you anybody living on that, that is a weapon of fortune teller. They get a fortune teller. So therefore, in the Indian traditional knowledges, yoga provides a strong ethical content, yama niyama, and the Mahavir system of Jains provided very strong ethical principles like Tri Ratna. The great Purusha Buddha provides a knowledge of a package of ethical morals in the name of Skanga Marga or in the Panchasila. So therefore, very strong ethical content was constructed by Indian traditional systems. If anybody living on the strong ethical moral standards, that is enough for open up the second big boss, that is the platform of fortune teller. If one's fortune teller is, for example, the word may be English, the word may be Sanskrit, but I am taking the word from the lines of Saint Ramalinga. Valala, all of you know that Valala or Saint Ramalinga Swamigal, from Kannada, specifically from the Vadalur near Vesadambaram, he speaks about Anmaneya Variyapadi, universal brotherhood, one set of principles, and deathless sight, Maranamla Pervate, one principles, and he speaks about Jivagaranyam, and Maranamla Pervate, Anmaneya Variyapadi. These principles was constructed by the great Saint Ramalinga, and he speaks about if you want to open the door of the heaven, the door of the moksha, the key is nothing but Jivagaranyam. Jivagaranyam is a key to open the door of heaven, door of moksha. So the light, well, Jivagaranyam is nothing but a strong ethical moral principles. Jivagaranyam is implied with the truth, there is a himsa, with the following of more moral as well as ethical principles. Therefore, yoga is advised. The ethical moral principles is a gateway for opening of the things. So, for making our life as an ideal, I am speaking of ideal. not for the ordinary life, not for a life for the organates, not for living for 100 years, not for living healthy for 100 years. Our aim is to get the place of ideal. Ideal is nothing but knowing about the past, present and future, intuitive development of intuitive knowledge. And that knowledge is also possible from the practice of yoga, a yoga person. So therefore, whether the pratipakshika bhavana or from the Ashtanga yoga, if anybody practicing this kind of two eminence practice, then it will ordinarily provide a knowledge of real life, and it will provide a set of living of higher order, great living on edge, and also it will serve as one of the sadhana. So yoga system only, it is a kind of sadhana as well as a school of philosophy. Among the Indian philosophy, the all other philosophies only being, what is that? A philosophy. But yoga is alone having a two sides, like a sadhana. Sadhana means the techniques, tools, or the pathway for attaining the destination. The another time it speaks about the strong school of philosophy. So therefore, it is a more viable principles. It is more viable principles for life. I am a person interested in modern science also. If a one-pointed mind, if a meditative mind succeed, what will happen? The happening cannot be scaled. The result cannot be scaled. The result cannot be measurable. Yogic power cannot be measurable. We all of us know there are Astama Siddhis, 8 kinds of supernatural powers. Anima, Lagima, Mahima, there are 8 kinds of supernatural powers we are speaking about. But even it is not a greater fruits of practicing yoga. And moreover, it provides a greater life. Whether or else, I am saying that anybody having provides a space for healthier life, both mind as well as brain. Our capacity of brain it is a surprise from the knowledge of neuroscience. If you are living with the capacity of brain, easily we can live for 1,000 years. Our capacity of brain provides their functions for 1,000 years. But our body is not capable. Our body is not capable for living even for 100 years. Somebody may live 130 years, 140 years, 120 years. Even some trained Siddha or yoga, they will live for. But even without a knowledge of yoga, as per the neuroscience, we can be able to live for 1,000 years. If anybody living with the practice of yogic norm, definitely there may be a possibility of living more than 1,000 years. For them, a great saint, Tirumalan explains, I am lived for 3,000 years. One place in Trivandrum. The another place was mentioned, I have lived the unaccountable years. So, like a great saint, Tirumalan can never set life. Therefore, there is a possibility of living and 1,000 years. Even Saint Ramani was speaks about deathless life, so therefore, the actual fruits of yoga is, it is unimaginable, unmeasurable, uncountable. If anybody practices yoga, the acquiring power is more and more. I can say some comparability in the science. So that is the yoga finally it speaks about mind, as I mentioned previously. If anybody train mind more and more by meditation, dhyana, and they are sharpening their mind, For comparatively, I can say that today we have a science of laser. Laser technology we are using today. That is a light amplification, all of you know. A laser can become more energy. With the help of the knowledge of laser, we are generating atomic fusion. Atomic fusion is so difficult. Atomic fusion is, they are bringing the atomic plant, they are destructive the fundamental elements. Whereas fusion is something, the pressing the elements and making the energy is too difficult. For the purpose, the laser technology is using. The laser technology using a heavy industrial. The laser technology even for using for small operations. So the laser, what is a laser? Laser is nothing but light. It is also light amplification. And what is the ordinary light is also. What is the difference between the ordinary light as well as the laser light? Both things are light only. But we can able to succeed so many things with the laser technology, but it is not possible with the light, ordinary light, the sunlight or the lights or the. Why? Because the ordinary light is unfocused, unorganized light. It may be short, it may be long, it may go here, one thing will go here, one here. Therefore, unfocused light is ordinary light. It cannot achieve anything. But focused light, organized light, in a rhythmic, in a one range thing, that is a laser. So through the laser technology, we have generating more energy and we get more benefit. First, the unorganized light, we are using for reading, movie, or even the sunlight, we are getting generation of sunlight, etc., etc. So, we have two nature of mind, organized mind, unorganized mind. The unorganized mind must be organized. The unorganized mind like an ordinary light, which can use some so small ordinary levels. Organized mind, we can be able to achieve unmeasurable, unlimited, unaccountable energy. So, the utility of yogic practice is, it is not just a concept. The great seers, they realize the capacity or the knowledge of yoga, and it depends upon the capacity of people. They are giving big for the knowledge of the people. So, the knowledge yoga is providing the knowledge of yoga is not just for any ordinary level, it is for higher cosmic level, it is higher spiritual level. Therefore, we can be able to make the body. And one more thing important. The other religious schools of India, where they are ignoring body. Body is a secondary. Body is useless. Body is resistance. Body is ajnana. Body brings us back. But yoga and siddha, they turn the body, but without body we cannot achieve it. And Tirumala evidently mentioning, this is a Veerai Valakam Ubayam Terite, Veer Valakteni, Vadambai Valakteni. So without a perfection of body, the attainment of moksha, the attainment of swarga, attainment of spiritual destination is not at all possible. Therefore, it provides a soul science today, strengthening and making perfection of the body, healthier body, the strong body. So the strong body, instead of, it speaks about strong mind. So the yoga is nothing but making mind a strong. And that is a very strong from the weak body and broken body. It travels from the broken body to strong body, a strong mind. I think all of you witnessed the martial art films. The martial art is don't think it's a physical activity, it is a mental activity. And their focus is only mind instead of body. They are providing training to their mind, not to the body. If they are providing a perfect training to the mind, automatically the body becomes so strong. In the initial level of, in the exercise of thing, they first providing knowledge to the ignoring pain. And ignoring pain is the first level of practice, and they are moving from the higher level of power. So, the ideal life through the yoga is not for the ordinary purpose, it is higher purpose. So, I concretely and I systematically and I am saying categorically that the knowledge of yoga provides us a very healthier life through the making strong mind, through the making strong physical, through making strong the existence of spiritual. So therefore, I can say still we are not realizing the power of yoga or subject of yoga or the content of yoga. Since I am teaching the yoga for last more than 12 years, I know the depthness of the content of yoga is more abstract, more subtle, more metaphysical, more epistemic. If we are go and digging the knowledge of yoga, if we are making more digging of the knowledge of yoga, we will energize the human being. That kind of knowledge, as I previously mentioned, is incomparable, unparalleled, and it is very unique of Indian tradition. That knowledge is provided initially from the South India. Even I can claim that knowledge is the owner of knowledge is the Tamils. The knowledge of yoga was developed only by Tamils. Who is the real owner of the yoga? The Tamils are the real owner of the yoga. Who is the, as I previously mentioned, the Yoga Sutra founder is Patanjali. Patanjali was climbed by the north. He was born in north. There was one movie in BBC. I speaks about the author of the Patanjali, author of the Yoga Sutra Patanjali from Kasi, Benares. I written a letter to BBC, sir, it is not, your documentary is not based on evidence. Actually, Patanjali is a Tamilian. He was born in Tamil Nadu. He was born in Chidambaram, and he was a child in Rameswaram. Chidambaram temple having evidence of pictures of Saint Patanjali. So therefore he was a Tamil, and the Tamilians alone, from time immemorial, having developed knowledge of yoga, it was spread throughout the India, and in modern times, later times alone, the other North Indian tradition having the knowledge of yoga, they developed. So who is the owner? The Tamils are the owner of the knowledge of yoga. We need to try. I very strong evidence to that. So therefore, learned audience, participants, please realize the knowledge of the yoga, and it is so practicable. So I used to say, in ordinary sense, yoga is nothing but practice. What is it? Anybody asking about yoga? It is asana, it is a dhyana, or it is a pranayama. It is not to say. So it is not like that. 95% of yoga is a theoretical content. Without realizing the theoretical content, the practical content is not valuable. Only a 5% practical content. Therefore, yoga is a subject. Once you are listening the yoga, it is enough to making us a healthier life. Yoga, the subject of yoga, knowledge of yoga is alone a kind of therapy. If anybody listening the knowledge of yoga itself being a therapy, there is a case study of that. So therefore, the subject is also a therapy, and the psychology is also therapy, and practice is also a therapy. With these notes, I will speak so many, and now the time is 4:30, right? Probably there is some practice. I will speak in more. in the very next show, yoga is the only subject in practical aspect, in a secular aspect, in a democratic aspect. It is for ideal life. Ideal life may be possible by the sadhana of bhakti, karma, and jnana. But yoga is enough for making an ideal life. This note, I conclude my lecture.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And making us lucky for International Day of Yoga. And I am thanking today the great scholars, my chancellors, board chancellors, vice chancellors. I thank the director of regional. I thank the assistant regional directors, and I thank to all the great leader audience. And I thank all the staff of this group, Chennai chapter. And I thank my mother institution, University of Madras, for making this day as it's a 1 month event to celebration of yoga, 1 month yoga. So I conclude with this note, yoga for ideal life. Again, we will meet in another program. He speaks another element of yoga in future. I am thanking you. Namaskar. Vandana. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Venkat, for your clear-cut and excellent presentation. I think we are all benefited by the talk given by you. I think in your speech you have justified the need for practicing yoga for everyone. I think it's a very good presentation by you. I thank you very much. And I also request other participants, if you have anything, quickly we will have a question and answer session. If there is any doubt, I think one or two people already raised their hands. So quickly we will have it, then a formal vote of thanks, then we will go for practice. So any interaction is there, you may kindly come on. So there are no questions. Anybody would like to interact? Any participant would like to ask any question to Professor Venkat? So let us go ahead with the vote of thanks, formal vote of thanks. Then we can go for the practice.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, by Dr. Zarina. Yeah.
Yes. Good evening to all our friends. I am very thankful to our patron, Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageshwar Rao sir, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Radha Prasad, Satyakam sir, Uma Kantilal Madam, Sumitra Puteti, Shrikant Mahapatra sir, Mangrut Singh Veena, for creating this good opportunity for us to organize this yoga program for the International Day of Yoga. And I am very thankful to our Director, Regional Services Division, Dr. U.C. Pandey sir, and in charge Director Madam Hema for delivering the presidential address. I am very thankful to all the regional center staff members who are all participated, especially from RC Vijayawada, RC Mumbai, Jaipur, Saharsa, Shimla, Korapat, Jaipur, and Nagpur. I am very thankful to all the academics and staff members who are all participated from the regional centers, all the senior regional directors and the regional directors, academics, academic counselors, coordinators, students. And my special thanks to Dr. Venkatachalapathy sir, Head Department of Philosophy, University of Madras, Chennai, for the keynote address delivered for an ideal life. Sir, in your presentation, you have touched so many great aspects which will influence body, mind, and soul. Thank you very much, sir, for giving all necessary directions for having a balanced life and a normal life and a peaceful life. And my special thanks to our Senior Regional Director, Dr. K. Panneerselvam, sir, Regional Chennai, the staff members from the Regional Sector Chennai, for extending all their best cooperation for making this program grand success. Thank you one and all, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we will conclude with this, and we will go for the practice as we have planned. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who have participated, especially the colleagues from other RCs. So thank you very much for your patient listening, and I hope you benefited out of this program. Thank you very much. Thank you. This will not be shown in this, na? Practice will not be there.
For this live video, you will be able to choose.